Okay, so, I was wanting to do like a March wrap up type of thing that I always see people do, like a monthly wrap up. But the truth is, I only read Crescent City 30 last month, and I already made that video. So the next best thing I could do, I guess, is books that I acquired in the month of March and what I've got planned for April. So without further ado, this is the video. So I guess it's a March month book haul. That's what we're gonna call it. So March was my birthday. That sounds wrong. Funny. Anyways, my birthday was in March, so I did acquire quite a bit of books. That would be this stack right here. So we'll just go through it, I guess. And yeah, most of these books I got at Walmart because honestly, Walmart has some like cheap books. Whereas if you go to Barnes and Nobles, you know, they're usually like a paperback is about 19, 20 bucks. But you go to Walmart, books are like 13, 14 dollars. Like it depends on the book, obviously, but like there are some pretty good deals there. So just walking through the book aisle, I seen some books that I knew were on my TBR, and they were at a good price, so I got them. Anyways, so the first book that I have here on my stack is called The School for Good Mothers by Jessamine Chan. This book is set in I'm not sure where it takes place, but it is about Chinese, or the main character, they're Chinese immigrants. Doesn't say where they moved to. But anyways, so it's like a big brother. They describe it as a big brother-like institution for mothers. And it's to measure the success or failure of a mother's devotion. So if it's like a government ran thing to try to improve moms and how they are mothering. And so basically, if you're like, you take your kid to the park, and instead of keeping an eye on them, you're like scrolling on the phone, or like just in the store and not like on your kid's case about not touching things or staying by like the basket, like little things like that, puts you on their list, and they take you to this Big Brother institution. So basically, moments of poor judgment means you're like a bad mom, and so if your kid breaks an arm or walks home alone, you're a bad mom basically. So that's not what I'm saying, but that's what the government in this book says. And so then you have to go into this institution, and it's basically like school on how to be a mom, which honestly is not a bad thing, because there are some moms out there that are definitely need this kind of stuff. Anyways, this is like the only book, like this is like different from my type of book. Oh, it's one of Barack Obama's best books of 2022. Anyways, it's definitely outside of my wheelhouse, but it sounds like right up my alley. Like I think that sounds like such a good book. Okay, this book is called The Fallen. I picked it up at the thrift store. And it's like a dark romance kind of deal. I honestly don't know what it's about. It's got like Twilight vibes, honestly. So it's like this guy she likes, but it's like Twilight, basically. I don't know. This girl likes this guy, and he's like the popular kid in school, like super sunshine, golden retriever vibes, but when it comes to her, she's like, he doesn't give two F's about her. So turns out he has like a secret or something. I don't know. So I just picked it up because, I don't know, it just sounds interesting. It looked interesting. It reminds me of a book that I read a long time ago. I can't even remember what it's called, but it was about, okay, so if anybody knows what this book is, I need to know what it's called. It's like, this kid moves to this new town. He's like a teenage boy, and turns out there's like this haunted house, and if you go in the haunted house, you don't come back out alive or something of that sort. And I guess there was this murder that happened there in the house like 50 years ago, or like a long time ago. And this kid goes in there, and this ghost girl, who I think is the one who kills people, ends up being like attaching herself to him, and he's like digging it, and it's not smutty or anything. Like I don't know, it's like a ghost romance kind of, but not. So like he ends up liking this ghost girl, and this ghost girl becomes his best friend, and like other kids at school are not dealing with him, like they just don't care about him, and he's friends with this ghost girl. I don't know, it's something about a red dress. Like her dress is white, but then like it's all like bloodied up. I want to say Anna. I think the girl's name was Anna, something like that. Anyways, if you know it, share it. So the next book I have is Punk 57. So this book is a romance, and so Punk 57 by Penelope Douglas was it's a romance. I know that much. So these two kids meet through like a pen pal type of thing going on, and that their teachers made them sign up for when they were like 10 years old. And they end up like hitting it off, and so for years they're like going back and forth, like messaging, you know, pen pals. And they decide that no, we're not going to share our real names, we're not going to share what we look like and all that stuff. And so it comes to a point where person number one is scrolling on I don't know what, he's just on the internet, and he comes across this video of a person with the name that is the same as the person he's pen paling with. And what he sees in the video, he does not like. So he ends up like ghosting her, and this girl is, I don't know, that's about all I know. The next book, also one of those that I got from Walmart, it says it was $10.99 there, which sounds about right. But is that how much it is at Barnes and Nobles too? I don't think so. Anyways, A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. I always see people refer to this book in comments, and I have no idea what it's about. I am guessing the girl murders somebody, and yeah, I don't know. It is a mystery type of deal, and that's about all I'm going to look into it, because I don't really want to know what it's about. Like, I see people reference it all the time. And I want to read it. So I don't care what it's about. I'm just going to read it. Okay, this one I got this book at Walmart. It's called They Both Die at the End. And I have never seen anybody talk about it before. It came out 2017. So I've never seen anybody talk about it before. And I liked the cover. I thought it was very nice. And the concept of this book is pretty interesting. So these two guys sign up to, hold on, I gotta get comfortable. Okay, so I'm not like working out in this chair right now. I'm just too slippery. All right, so these two guys meet up on an app called the Last Friend app. So they meet up and they go on this like big adventure right before they die, and it's supposed to be to live like a lifetime in a single day. So basically at the end of the day, they die. That sounds pretty interesting. Like that concept, I don't know. That's pretty cool. Not cool, but I mean, like, people come up with these things, and like, where do they come up with them? Anyways, but I thought that was a really interesting concept, and this book has to be full of like adventures and plot twists and things, is what I'm thinking. There's this little I'm just gonna read this little like snippet that they have on the back, because I think that's what really pulled me when I picked up the book. It says, "We are Last Friend Inc." Oh no, hold on. It says, "We here at Last Friend Inc. are collectively sorry for this loss of you. Our deepest sympathies extend to those who love you and those who will never meet you. We hope you find a new friend of value to spend your final hours with today." That's kind of cool. So yeah, Adam Silvera. And then there's another book called The First to Die at the End. I don't know what that could be about, but yeah. So, but it's such it's a lovely cover too. Like, that's very nice. Hold on. I have two Penelope Douglas books here. The first one was The Punk 57, and then this one, Credence, has some questionable content. It's very scandalous. If you've heard anything about this book, it is very scandalous, and there are some ethically questionable standards in this book, and I am just so intrigued. And I hear that the smut like in this book is like chef's kiss. Like, it's up there. I know what the scandalous stuff is, but I'm not going to mention it because my one child is in the other room, and she can most definitely hear everything. So if you want to know, I guess head to TikTok to find out about it. But this one makes me giggle, just because it's so, like, it's a dark romance for sure, I believe, but it's so it's just so out there. And I know that in the real world this kind of stuff does happen, but in my world that shit doesn't happen. So, like, it makes me giggle. Anyways, I'm just moving on. Okay, I have these two books. They are not written by the same author. They are not the same story. They are not part of a sequel or anything. But these two books, you look at the cover, they have such similar vibes. And like, even just straight down to like the background colors, and like it's great. I love it. And the reason why I grabbed these two books is because one of my all-time favorite movies for absolutely no reason is Red Riding Hood with Amanda Seyfried. And she, like, that movie had a chokehold on me. And I think the father in that movie is the same guy who plays the father of Bella Swan in Twilight. Yeah. It's a really good story, or really good movie. And that dance scene when they're doing when they're dancing by like the bonfires, perfect. But also these books have they have nothing to do with that book, and I just got these for the vibes because they remind me of that movie, and that's like just one of my not childhood movies, but I grew up with that movie, like watching it a lot. So that's why I got these, because they just have like a nostalgic feel for me. They got the red cloaks, they've got the gloomy sky background. I have no idea what they're about. So this one has really been popular lately. Elsbeth needs a monster. The monster might be her. That's interesting. Because we never expect ourselves to be monsters, right? But yeah, I know it's really been popular, and it's one of two. And it's a gothic fantasy. So, I really like this book. Like, I really like the idea of like a gothic fantasy, because that's very nice. Anyways, that's One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. Is that how you say it? Rachel Gillig. So that's pretty high on the read list. This one is this one's called For the Wolf by, I can't even read it because the sticker, Hannah Whitten. The story is the first daughter is for the throne, the second daughter is for the wolf. So the first daughter will inherit the throne, while the second daughter gets thrown to like a literal wolf. I don't know what the deal is with this wolf, but he gets the second kid. And if that's the idea, why even have a second kid? Like, I would not. But there's not really, on the back, there's nothing about it. Oh, on the inside. I'm not going to read it, because then I'm just going to get too eager and too ahead of myself. And that's why I don't read a lot of the backs of these books, because then I just get too eager to read it, and then I get overwhelmed with what to read next. So I'm just going off the vibes, because that's the best I can do for my mental health. Those were for your sister.
She's not renaming them.
Anyways, good book, good vibes, good cover, love it. Those are the books that I have acquired in the month of March, and I need to put myself on a book ban, because now I have too many books, and most of them I have not read. But I do at the same time want to fill up my bookcase already, because it's very empty, and I don't like that. That's what happened in March. The next thing I wanted to say was, I wanted to say this earlier, but I forgot. The next thing I wanted to say was, sorry, I gotta get comfortable. Okay, I'm sliding way too much, hold on. Okay, better. The next thing I wanted to say was that I started back in school. So I actually started this week my courses, and wow, I'm like overwhelmed already, and I definitely need to work on the time management. And so because of that, obviously what I'm going to be reading is going to be at a slower pace now because I have to devote my time now more to my education. But I'm still I'm trying to make it to where I have most of my work done by a certain point. That way I can spend so that I can have like just days devoted to where I don't have any other responsibilities other than my kids, and I can actually sit down and read. So that's the plan. But as far as April goes, I currently am reading The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. Great book. This book is so sweet, and it's definitely being a slow read for me because it puts me in such a calm state that I end up just like, I want to take a nap. So, but it's a very nice book. So for the month of April, I'm just going and reading my pretty books. So this is my pretty book series. And so that's what I'm doing. So I'm debating on whether I should do like a video per book because these are literary classics and there's a lot to be said about them. Or if I should just make a bigger video about all three of my pretty books. So that's the deal right now. So that's what I got going for April. I keep saying so, and that's so annoying. So yeah, I'm debating. I'm just gonna go with the flow and see what happens. So, oh my god, I have to stop saying that. Anyways, I gotta figure out something else to say. Anyways, that's what's going on for April. I'm reading my pretty books. I'm going back to school. I'm getting shit done and standing on business. So, alright, that's the end of the video. So, if you liked the video, I guess subscribe and like. And if you know what the name of that freaking book is, Anna with the red dress, I don't know, I gotta look it up. Then, comment it. But I read that book probably, where was I living at this time? Shit, I don't even know. That'd have been like 8 or so years ago. I remember having that book physically in my hand in that house. I don't know. If you know the book, let me know. If you liked the video, like, subscribe, comment the something. Whatever. What do people even say? Anyways, alright, bye.